Welcome, I'm Blair Corbett with Ark of Hope for Children. Ark of Hope for Children has been providing hope and help for people that have been victimized by child abuse, child trafficking, ritual abuse, institutional abuse. Ark of Hope has created a special live chat website called Removing Chains. It's at removingchains.org. And it's a very interesting thing that developed actually while my wife was hospitalized after complications from surgery, continued to try to take her life for a year and a half. It sidelined us from our normal nonprofit work, and it was really quite a difficult time. During that time, I decided to take my vows quite seriously and spend pretty much every minute with her. It took a year and a half. She was able to come home. And then we did another full year of rehabilitation just so that she could get around well in a wheelchair. So our lives really changed. But what also changed during that time was our nonprofit organization. You see, it was difficult. I imagine that people who used to follow and support what we were doing felt like Ark of Hope for Children was going to be no more. So we literally lost all of our volunteers. Pretty much all of our donors, almost all of our donors, and all of our board members. I think they pretty much felt like I was focusing on my family as they felt was an important thing, but that Ark of Hope was not going to survive. Now this is the amazing thing. Here I had our goal set on helping children, child victims of abuse, actually, in a hands-on way. Well, I had put us out all over the internet. I had built websites to do that on, which I'd become pretty good at, really, and had us on all the social networks. At the time, we were on MySpace. 6 years ago, a young person contacted me through MySpace, hoping that he might find hope and help through this site that claimed to care about child abuse victims. It was quite an eye-opening experience. Right then I knew God was definitely doing something, so I paid very close attention. And over a period of time where I earned his trust, which is something that's so important to do, and because we were not face-to-face, he was able to start opening up about the truth of his life, something he'd never been able to do with. This young person had been ritually abused by a horrific cult type of situation, had been sex trafficked, had so many different problems from PTSD, flashbacks, nightmares, fears, inability to trust adults. I mean, adults had carried this on for him really all of his life. Found himself to be rescued, where he had a safe place to be. You know, he had a roof over his head. He had food. And he had protection. But people didn't know how to help him. And even if they did, he didn't know how to trust adults. So it developed between he and I over the internet, over what began in MySpace, was just a phenomenal eye-opening experience. He was able to share things, begin to share memories, deeper and deeper and deeper memories that he'd never been able to share before. So what developed from that was actually 2, and then 3, and then 4, and even more that were also saved, that were living in the same quarters, under the same protection. I was able to do this the whole time my wife was recovering in the hospital, actually, times right there in intensive care. They had been phenomenal, the nurses and doctors there, where they allowed me to set up a bed in her room where I could be there, and when I wasn't helping her, I was able to help these young people. I came to realize as MySpace gave way to Facebook and others came up between Tumblr and Pinterest and all these others and Google+, we got on all of those, and Twitter, of course. and I started spreading the word. If you need help, if you need hope. A few of them reached out, as this young man did, and decided to say, hey, I have something I need to share and I need help. Most people, though, didn't really want to open up. They were very, very cautious with me about, not talking to anybody else that was in their friends list, and never saying anything in public because nobody else knew. So it made us realize that we needed to build a website where we could do this from safely. So we built removingchains.org. I actually built that site with another relationship I made online with an adult survivor of institutional abuse. He was well into his 40s, unable to maintain marriage and it was going to be homeless. So he and I both had an extreme passion to help victimized people. What started out as young people now was plenty of older people like himself that didn't know how to cope with things and had never opened up in 20, 30, 40 years. So he came in to live with us in a shelter situation, which was really awesome, and he helped me build removingchains.org. Now what we have is really phenomenal. We have a chat room situation where we've got 10 chat rooms, and each chat room is focused on specific needs. Rooms that are focused on child abuse, another for child trafficking, another for female abuse, another for male abuse survivors, another for adult survivors of child abuse. We have one for ritual abuse. We have another room for that. And with bullying, has been such an epidemic, and realizing that these kids who are being bullied actively on a daily basis need a place to go. They need an oasis. Because our goal is really to get just dozens of volunteers that will help as listeners within these rooms. The site is open 24/7. Through the beta stages, it's been phenomenal. We've bought all kinds of software to make it a great experience, to keep it separate from Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, all of those. So these people can learn about us, they can come over there, they can still have their friends and their connections on Facebook and everywhere else, but at this place, they have the safety to be able to say, hey, I'm struggling, I have nightmares, sometimes I feel suicidal. It's been a phenomenal experience to be able to do this. And we're reaching out to you for support, yes, for volunteers also, but for support especially. Financial support will mean so much. Since my wife recovered, yeah, she's still wheelchair bound most of the time and that, but since she recovered, we had to rebuild with Ark of Hope for Children. So I knew that I needed to give people something that they could look at, that they could see what we were doing, rather than just an idea of what we'd like to do. So we built this site. We used all of our own resources, literally. Now our resources are tapped out. The site is there. It's functioning. There's so much more we would like to do. We want to provide resources on this site for like a library, if you will, of resources that will provide help for survivors of all the different areas. There's so much great content out there. There's so many great people and counselors that have provided information. We want to bring it into a library situation, whether it's articles, that can be found on the net, videos, other things, and have them all available for the survivors on our site or just visitors to our site. We want to provide background checks for everyone who is going to, well, every adult anyhow, that is going to work with these children. With these people, especially young people. They need protection, do they not? But we want to provide background checks for everybody, bring safety to a safe feeling even to the adults that are there, the adults who perhaps they've been through horrific criminal acts done on them, like rape and physical abuse that's just tormented them. They need to know that they're safe. So we're going to provide background checks, which are not a cheap route to go, but it's a necessary route to go. Our site, Removing Chains, we do not take the place of professional counselors, but like with the young people that we started with, we helped them feel comfortable initially, eventually with talking with people that were therapists, counselors, professionals, including lawyers, police, whatever authorities they needed to be able to talk to. All of you should know, like human trafficking is the second largest industry in the world. Millions of people have been harmed. Child abuse survivors, the numbers of victims are even much higher than trafficking in the amount of victims. And then bullying. There's hundreds of thousands of people out there that need help. They need support. We're not taking the place of counselors. We don't even want to do that. But we want people to be able to use our site. And then we connect them to the authorities and to the help that they can get. We need to have the ability to let more and more people know that this site exists. I need to have the ability to have other people on my board, other people that will take on different roles within this organization. But before any of that can happen, I need you. In this season of giving, we need people to support what we have done. We've tapped out our resources, but I can't stop. We can't stop doing this thing that has brought such hope into people's lives. So I turn to you. We're Ark of Hope for Children. I ask you, any of you, to make whatever size donation you can. I ask others of you to make a commitment to monthly donations. You would be our archangels. $30 a month would do so much to cover some of the monthly hosting and all the things we've had to invest in for software and things like that, which go on regularly, in updates and upgrades. Most of the software that we've provided for this had to be purchased software, and we also have to purchase support, and we have to purchase the ability to get ready. It costs only about $300 a month to keep these sites going. That's without support from me. That's without one a paid staff person. I believe we have a right to be paid. I believe that a nonprofit organization doing the kind of work that we're doing, as any nonprofit, has a right to thrive. But we can't thrive without you. In this giving season, I'm reaching out to you. This video is being made in giving season, Christmas season, holiday season of 2013. But it's going to go on much longer than that. I implore you to give whatever you can to keep this going. I implore you to become an archangel, where we will, anybody that's giving $30 a month or more, that we will put on our website, on a special page on our website for personal monthly supporters. We will put up information about you, or if you want to do it in memory of somebody that you know. So we'll have a special area, a separate area for corporate sponsorships on our site. Corporate sponsorships have different levels. Some are smaller businesses where $30 a month is the best they can do, $360 a year, let's say. It's where we can put up their logo on our site. Others can easily give $500 a year, or perhaps even $100 a month, where we have a corporate sponsor of whatever level that might sponsor one of the entire libraries for us. How incredible would that be? Somebody might sponsor our entire chat room area, or the different things that we're doing. This video is so much longer than I wanted it to be, and I thank you so much for indulging us in this. But we're at our end financially, and it shouldn't be this way. There's thousands and thousands of survivors out there that need hope They need us to continue. Without your support, Ark of Hope cannot continue these sites. So there's 3 weeks left in 2013. We ask you, you people that need a tax deduction anyhow, to remember these victims, these survivors. You know, everybody gets excited when a child abuse victim is found and is brought to safety, or a person that's, you know, been rescued from sex trafficking or human trafficking in any fashion. But the torment and the problems emotionally can go on for them for many years. Help us to bring them the hope that they need. Help us to continue this so that we can connect them to professionals in their area while continuing to hold their hand through the social network and be their friend and show them unconditional love. We're counting on you. I thank you for giving us all this time. And I pray that our social network people, the thousands that follow us, will share this video and continue to share it through 2014 and beyond. I pray that all of you that are already, you know, some of you are our local people that we'll be sending us to. And maybe you didn't even know we are continuing and that we were this strong, but we are. But we can only maintain this strength with your help. Break the chains of child abuse so these people can have awesome and wonderful lives. Thank you from Ark of Hope for Children and RemovingChains.org.